feels like I haven't talked in front of a camera in like such a long time. I watched some old videos of mine and then I watched more recent ones. Meanwhile, I'm struggling with grammar. Not necessarily struggling, just learning new stuff. I have an exam in basically a few days. I just wanted to talk, kind of document. That's why I started doing vlogs again, to document my life, but I also want to document my thoughts, which I think you can see through the way I film, the way I edit, but not everyone is able to read in between the lines, and I cannot expect everyone to do so, and communication is very important. Recently I had to make kind of not necessarily a big choice, but an important one. I don't want to go into much detail, but I had to let go of a person, which I haven't even known for that long, but it still wasn't an easy choice. But I had to choose myself over and over again, even if it costs me letting go of the love that I've been seeking for so long. And finally, when I didn't seek it out anymore, it came right into my face. I hate that phrase, love comes when you least expect it. I believe that there's truth in jokes and in cliches. There's truth in everything if you really want to find that. The miracles are everywhere, because it's a miracle that we are here. Firstly, matter of perception sometimes, as cliche as it sounds. Just learning how to let go, how to, most importantly, let go of the control that I have. A lot of people would call me, and I would call myself as well, that I'm control freak, because control is safety, which also all of us seek, I believe, and it should be not a privilege, it should be a basic human right, but it is truly a privilege to be in safety, and so we should not take it for granted, for sure. But connected with greed and capitalism and overconsumption and forever always wanting more, meanwhile you forget to enjoy what you have right now, and truly take the moment in and not constantly overthink about the next step, the next emotion that you're gonna feel. You cannot plan those things. Just learning how to go with the flow, and and I think I'm gonna read some of my New Year's resolutions. And also, just another thought I wanted to share. I constantly want to share myself, but at the same time, I don't want to over explain myself and overshare myself. I want to leave some of the parts inside of me, but I always constantly want to connect with people. I want to talk with my friends constantly, but I have to learn how to be in my own solitude again and be content with that. Even though I truly am, and I have been for a long time. It's just I want to make it more concrete and truly believe that, and truly go with it from within. So usually every year, at the end of the year, I try to do a portrait of myself, just to see how I perceive myself, my drawing skills, how I feel that particular day. So this is mine from this year. I did it in one of the coffee shops, then I went to a bar alone. I spent, by the way, New Year's Eve alone, and just still surrounding people, but I listen to music. I welcomed the year with Abudu, a Lithuanian band that I really love, and their song Vietos Pasauli. It's a really good song, I recommend. And I just listened to music, then I just went to the bus stop, came back home, and just, yeah, for my 2025 self. But I believe that I would wish this upon everyone and anyone. And have fun, keep on being yourself, enjoy your own company, take care of it, your space, both physical and mental, your health, self-regulate. Let yourself wander and ponder, daydream, and forever as always, love, live, be, create, breathe, observe, smile, and dance. Just a little note. But I have more concrete plans, and I even wrote down specific steps that I want to take. There's a lot of stuff that I want to do, but I'm just gonna go with the flow, honestly. And at first I thought that last year was rough. Well, it was for sure, from my like health perspective, but now that I'm looking more at it, I'm like, oh, I did a lot of stuff, and I learned a lot of stuff about myself. And I found new friends. I had so many interactions. I went on little dates, which weren't successful, but it was fun. So yeah, and this is my journal. Last year I had 3 journals, each one for 4 months, so amazing. Loved it. This is my 3rd or 4th one, this specific one, and it has like a little envelope thingy. I got it from Tiger, yeah. It was like 5 euros, I believe. So, and I just I tried to get back into journaling again because I kind of stopped for a bit in November, I believe, but I truly missed it. And yeah, so I wrote these in Lithuanian, and I want to create more videos in Lithuanian, speaking in Lithuanian, because I truly cherish my native tongue, my language, my beautiful language, and I try to speak it more. But since I'm studying, I study English philology, and I have noticed that I'm unable to articulate myself in English as of lately. I have such a struggle doing that, so these little videos might help me to do so. I want to be able to speak fluently in both languages and not mix them, because I can speak in English fully, but when I speak in Lithuanian, I keep using English words, which I try to eliminate as much as possible, so I can have separate. And even though I'm very bilingual, and but yeah, so I would just want to have this childlike wonder and let myself be bored and not be scared of the boredom, and just letting my brain relax and chill for a bit, and just because I constantly overthink and all of that, which lovely, which is lovely. It has its benefits, it truly does, but I just sometimes I love just going near a river in particular, because the water flows and your thoughts kind of flow with it, and just it washes over you. So I really miss doing that. Of course, I wish to go to concerts like I did last year, dance more, of course, and just be and breathe and speak my truth, whatever that feels like in that specific moment. I wanted to talk now in front of a camera. I'm doing that, and later I will come back to grammar and that's okay. I just flow through life and see where it takes me, meanwhile still thinking about my future self and trying to do what's best for them, because as I said, you have to make some decisions. The flowing part, I don't mean to be passive at all. It's just like trusting your gut and trusting upon universe or whatever you believe in, and just having that trust that everything will work out in the end. It's more like that. I'm not encouraging to be passive at all. I hate passive people who just like don't think and don't seek anything, and that's okay, but these are just not my type of people. Um I seek knowledge constantly. I want to listen more and ask questions, raise questions, question stuff that aren't questions at times. I just want to be curious and, as I said, create more. And by listening and absorbing my surroundings, I can create. And but at the same time, I want to consume less and create more as well. That's kind of my phrase for this year as well. Um, I just want to see where the wind takes me, but also I just want to see what I can. If I have control over the situation, I will take that control and I will do something about it, not only for my own good, but for the community or for other people and just for planet's sake. Ugh, it's just everything like that. It's just a lot of stuff has been happening. I've been having such reflections, how I react to certain stuff and how my ego tries to protect me. I don't believe that we should kill our ego and just let it go. I used to believe that, and sometimes I still do in certain moments. But in the end, I'm like, no, ego is needed. Everything is needed in this life, as cruel as it might be. Of course, in certain contexts, I mean, I don't believe that genocide should exist, of course, and all of that. But I'm talking on like very like, not the global sense, perhaps, but in just overall personal lives. You know what I mean? In order to feel the joy and truly feel it and keep it in your heart, you have to go through those tough times and lows, and there's always sunshine on the other side. And well, sometimes there's moon on the other side. The moon is just as beautiful as the sun. um so yeah, and I don't want to sound I also, one resolution I should have written, which I'm gonna say right now, I tend to over explain myself, and I don't want my words to come out in this way and people to twist my words or interpret it in that way. That's why I keep explaining and explaining myself. I'm like, I wish I don't guys. So I wish to let go of that and just, as I said, speak my truth. And if anyone has questions, I'm always more than willing to expand on my thoughts and question my own thoughts. That's also very important. Question what I believe in, and yeah, just all of those stuff, and recognize my privilege, of course. But that's not even like a resolution. That's just how I move through life. I still, in the end, I wish always peace and yeah. Hey again. Once again, I just came here to talk, of course. I don't know if I said it in my last bit, um, but I always keep trying, and the fact that things just don't seem to fall into place quite yet is just very. It used to be very frustrating, but right now I'm just, I don't know. Sometimes I'm still frustrated, but most important, I'm like disappointed, and I'm not even sure, am I disappointed in myself, which is even a worse feeling. that I do not wish upon anyone, and of course not myself. And sometimes my feelings just all clash together, and I have no idea where my happiness begins and ends, and where my sadness and other emotions just exist. And I know techniques that I could do, and I try to do them when I remember, like noticing where I feel the specific emotion, what shape, maybe color even it has, and just letting it be and then letting it go if you need it. Asking myself questions and all of that. But it's just like sometimes I wake up with this feeling like today where I'm just like, I just have that feeling it's just not gonna work today. And I still try to do something at least, but my brain just keeps running somewhere else. And well, I can notice certain stuff, well, why it happens. Sometimes it's just because, but especially this morning I'm trying to fix my sleeping schedule, right? And I woke up at like 10, which is like earlier for me than usual, well, for the past couple of weeks. um and I immediately grabbed my phone, which I usually do if I'm being honest. But especially this morning, I already felt so drained, so overstimulated, and of course, I kept reaching for my phone during the day, and I don't want that, and I'm not sure what to do. And I mentioned that I had to make this decision about a person, and as I said, I don't want to go into much detail. But it's just I kept thinking about them today, and just replaying those memories like a film inside my head, and I'm not even sure it happened, but at the same time in those moments I was so sure it was happening. I felt so in the present moment, and I don't want my feelings to rely on a person, my devotion to my art, my motivation. I don't want it to depend on another person. Of course it can be like an anchor, like a push, but even that, and I know it all comes from me and all of that, like it's not the person who creates the art, I'm just inspired maybe or something like that. But I don't know, it's just very like complex. But like, do you always have to be inspired in order to create? But still, like, for order to create, like, I observe stuff. You have to absorb, like observe and absorb stuff in order to manifest it into something else from your own lens, from your own perspective. And from a young age I knew I was like creative, but honestly pretty recent I was like, oh, I'm like an artist, like I'm actually like a creative person. Because I do so much of that stuff, and I don't know why it took me so long to like be like, yeah, that's me, even though from childhood people kept telling me that, and I kind of understood it, but it wasn't like a conscious thought. It wasn't like, oh hey guys, I'm a creative person. Or like I'm an artist, which also because it's like such a big word, and I kind of tend to avoid big words because I'm scared how other people interpret it. It all comes back to my yesterday's talk. As I said, everything is very connected with one another, and sometimes also I feel like I keep running into the same problems and talking about the same stuff over and over again, but eventually I stop. Looking back, like for example, one of my friendships ended, and I kept talking about them constantly for like a good year or so. And then eventually I stopped, and now I mention them like once a year at max. I have fully let go of that, truly. Some things I still like, I can't let go, and I know that, and I don't think I should even. I'm letting myself hold on to these beautiful memories, and more of letting go of the fact that it was it happened once. It might happen again, but with different people, and but it will never be quite the same. I kind of trying to let go, and also kind of already going on that path of letting go of that idea, not necessarily the memory specific, or yeah, people too, specific people. I'm letting go of them too, but it's more of the idea. But I'm glad I got to experience it either way, even though those people aren't in my life, but they once were a big part, and I'm grateful for that. And yeah, also while I was in the shower, I realized how I actually like meeting new people. It's just some stuff I just keep realizing about myself, even smallest things. I'm like, I really like that scent actually. Or like a few months ago, I was like, I love green tea. And I knew that fact. I truly did in my heart, in my consciousness, in my conscious mind. But I was like, I really love green tea. I could drink it like every day. And I used to be obsessed with like black tea. So it's nice to see that change as well. Which change, because I really don't want to be stagnant. Like I want slow life with change. um but yeah. And also today I kept thinking about love. I'm not even sure, am I capable for the romantic love, because I have those feelings, but it's just I express them so differently and not like conventionally. Whatever that means. But I really tend to look from within, and not only about the person, but how I feel around them, like the energy. But then I begin to wonder, maybe I just like how they make me feel. But isn't that what love is? Like, that specific person makes you feel that way. I don't know. And yeah, last year I really pondered upon am I built for love, and will I end up with someone? Will I end up alone and all my friends will get married and forget me? Um and I really kind of created this negative mindset. Now I try to get rid of that limiting belief, but it's hard, and it keeps still like the remains of it are still in me. Maybe they always were, but when I really vocalized those thoughts, they became more real. But what keeps me like kind of just motivated, I don't know, just kind of keeps me moving, is that if if there's a will, there's a way. So if I really want to keep on pursuing my friendships and putting my energy into them, I will do it. I will find a way. And another day, I was thinking about how I was anxious that I won't be friends with certain people from my hometown, because when we graduated school, I thought we're gonna just kind of separate in our own ways. But I'm still friends with those people that I wanted to be friends with. But now there's another kind of anxiety more in the back of my mind that's not as in front of me, since it's still like 2 years until my graduation. And after that, it's like feels like truly real life begins. Which, what even is that? Is this not real life? But then, we're gonna get jobs. Some people might get married. Maybe I have kids. Beautiful, but at the same time, it's scary. It's anxiety inducing. It's just also confusing, and just like the shift and how we all move through life differently. It's interesting to see it, of course. It would be boring if we all went through the same path of finishing high school, getting BA, working, family, all of that. I mean, most people do, but in my generation, I see people going into different paths more. And I love that. I truly do. But at the same time, there's like endless of possibilities, which is scary as well. And even though like I know what I want to do with my life in a way, like my career, my dream job. I dream of not having a job. But it's still like I'm still uncertain. I'm uncertain about being certain. But that's a whole another topic. I love remembering stuff. I'm full of everything in my head, which sometimes is too much. But it's a gift and a blessing, if you will. Yuri, as the weather continues to get colder and colder, don't forget that you are the fireplace. You are the fluffy blanket and furry socks. You are the warmth. Treat yourself gently, even if sometimes it feels like the hardest task to exist. You are the muse, the artist, the wise, and the gentle. Your love is both food and shield, both a curse and a blessing.